Hi, welcome back to Web Technologies class. Hope all of you are good. Uh, in the previous class, we have seen the XML style sheet, the XSLT. So, in the today's class, we are going to see another important concept in web technologies, uh, which is called DOM, Document Object Model. Document Object Model. Now, if you see the syllabi of your class, you can see there, you can see that in the fifth unit JavaScript, there is a document object model, and in the second unit XML, also there is document object model. So we can deem it as an important concept. So, dear students, let me take you into this concept called document object model. What actually it is? What does it mean? It is, in simple words, it is an API, application programming interface, for accessing the elements which are in HTML and XML documents. It defines a logical structure of documents, and it also defines the way a document is accessed and manipulated. So, W3C, World Wide Web Consortium, has defined the DOM specification. Document is the HTML document or XML document, whatever you use. And you know that HTML or XML, they contain lot of elements, elements, tags, attributes. So the document object, with the document object model, we programmers, we can create and build documents. We can navigate ante oka element nunchi inko element potam. We can go from one element to the other. We can add, we can modify, or we can delete some elements using document object model, and the content we can modify. So with DOM we can access anything in the HTML or XML. We can change it, we can delete it, we can add it, we can append it with document model, object model. Now the objective of this model is to provide a standard programming interface that can be used in wide variety of environments and applications. You can use it with any programming language. Now today we are going to learn it in JavaScript. So it is a language independent specification. It is provided with language bindings for Java and ECMA script. So simple words, what is DOM? DOM is a programming interface for HTML and XML documents. It defines a logical structure. By using the term logical structure, because we don't specify any relation, we only specify the structure. So DOM is a way to represent a web page which contains a lot of number of elements, tags, attributes, text, all these things in a structured hierarchical way, so that the programmer can easily access or glide through the document. We can manipulate tags, IDs, classes, attributes, or elements using commands or methods provided in document object. So we represent in document specification, in the DOM specification, the structure model is used to describe the tree-like representation of a document. Let me see that it is called object model, but it is not a data structure. It identifies the interfaces and objects use it to represent and manipulate a document. The semantics of these interfaces and objects, including both behavior and attributes, the relationships, collaborations among these interfaces and objects. Now, these are the different objects in the document model. Window, document, link, form, anchor, text area, checkbox, radio, select, reset, button, option. If you remember, in JavaScript form validation, we have accessed the form value as form name dot element name dot value. That is an example of document object model. Now, there is a window object. Window object is always at the top of hierarchy. The document object, whatever we write in your file HTML, is the document object. Form object, you have a form name and you know form elements. What are the form elements? Text area, checkbox, radio, select, reset, button, submit. So, form object, link objects represented by link tag, anchor objects represented by anchor hyperreference tag, form control elements such as text fields, buttons, radio buttons, checkboxes, etc. Now, in the document object model, there are certain methods. Write method, get element by ID. If the element has an ID, you can use this method. We will see more of it later. Get element by name. If the element has a name, get element by tag name. If it has a tag name, get element by class name. You can access them. Now, see, there is simple HTML document. There is a table. This HTML5 code, rows, tr, table row, then table data, car, scooter. Another row, motorbike, bus, rows closed, table closed. Now, this HTML document, it is represented in document object model like this. Table at the top, rows has two children, tr and tr. Two TRs here, one TR here and another TR here. Then this TR has a TD, this TD, then this TD here, then this TR here, then this TD here, bus TD here. Now it has a value. Now car is, that means table, rows, tr, td, the value is car. So, document object model allows us to access the elements. We using this, we can modify, we can add, we can delete, we can append new elements, we can create. So, DOM is not a binary description. It does not define any binary source code in its interfaces. DOM is not used to describe the objects in XML or HTML. It only describes the documents as objects. DOM is not represented by a set of data structures. It is only an interface with specific object representation. DOM does not show any criticality of the document, that it does not have information about which object in document is appropriate, which is not to the context. It doesn't say anything. So quickly, there are levels of DOM. There are 4 levels of DOM. Level 0, level 1 and level 2 and level 3. Actually, this DOM has been defined when there was a competition between the Netscape Navigator and Microsoft Internet Explorer, or at the time Netscape Navigator browser, they have developed JavaScript. I think there is some problem with that. Yeah. Let me go back. So when there was competition, Netscape Navigator, these people have developed JavaScript and they have developed document object model. Later on, it has become a standard. So what we have seen, it is an interface, and what it doesn't indicate we have seen, and yeah, levels of DOM. Level 0, it provides low level set of interfaces. That means only forms and images we can access through the DOM level 0. I think today it is somewhat playing. And DOM 1, excuse me. Yeah. So level 0, it provides low level set of interfaces. Level 1, it provides both level 0 and the advanced version. It has two. Core provides low level interfaces, that is level 0, and HTML provides high level interfaces that can be used to represent HTML documents. And level 2 DOM consists of 6 specifications. Core 2, that means level 1. All the level 1 specifications can be had in level 2. In addition to that, it can have views to dynamically access and manipulate the content of the documents. Events, on click, on load, on focus. Events are scripts that are executed by the browser when the user reacts to the web page. We have seen in JavaScript on load, on click, on submit, on double click. All these are events, that. Style, that allows the programs to dynamically access and manipulate the content of style sheets. Traversal, you can allow, which allows the programs to dynamically traverse the document. We can traverse the document. And range allows the programs to dynamically identify range of content in a document. Level 3 consists of 5 different specifications. Core 3 up to DOM level 2, and load and save allows the program to dynamically load the content of XML into DOM document and save the DOM document into XML document by serialization. Validation, it allows the program to dynamically update the content and structure of the document while ensuring the documents remain valid. Events extends functionality of event specified by DOM level 2. XPath is a path language that can be used to access. So even if you don't understand it, don't bother much. When we come to the programming, we can understand this well. Let us see what are the DOM methods. Get element by ID. So we are when we use JavaScript, we can get the elements by ID. If you see the syntax of it, variable some name document dot get element by ID my element. Get element by tag name. Get element by tag name. Then get element by I will show the program. So now let's go back to our Notepad++. Yeah, in the Notepad++, I have an HTML document which is saved as jb.html. So if you see here, so it is a HTML document. There is a head, there is a metadata, there is a title, there are style sheet. This is style, internal styling, class 1 or ID 1, 2, 3. There are 2 classes, and this is 1. Let us make it as a class dot 1. Then body header h1, the role is heading, and this is a main, class is main, heading. Then paragraph, I didn't put anything here. I didn't put anything here also, but it is id is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and there is a footer. This is HTML5. So some things might be new for you because we have done HTML4 in the class. So role is content info and id is foot. Then another para, class is equal to other. I think I didn't define any class called other, so I will change it. Class is 1, and there is a copyright, so this is an entity reference to copyright, and there are two JavaScript files, heroes.js and dom_jb.js. Now what I will do is, let us create dom dom.js. Let us say that dom.js. Okay. Now let me open a JavaScript file here. Yeah. So I'm removing all these things. So I want to access the elements of the HTML document through the JavaScript using document object model. Now this I'm saving as save as what we hear, dom.js. So dome.js JavaScript file. Now let us define a variable. Now variable myvar is equal to document dot get element by id, e capital, b capital, I capital, id. Now suppose here the id is 1 for this paragraph, or let us say id is foot here, content info, or for example id is 1, this is with paragraph with id equal to 1. So id, and I want the id 1. So what will happen is, when we execute this, my variable will be having the element of this one. So let us say I want to console.log. I will, in the log I would like to see what is the value of my var. So save it and save this one also. Now go back here. My folder is in E. Webtech DOM. In this jb.html. So this is with id 1. Now let us inspect it. Let us inspect it with the element here, and when we see the console, now here what I have written in that, the total this paragraph id is equal to 1, this with id is equal to 1 is logged here. So if you see what I have written, console log my variable. Now my variable is containing the whole element, the whole element here with that. So similarly I can also access other elements. For example, I may want to variable 1, or let us say xyz is equal to document dot get element by ID. Where is the ID here? For example, foot. And let us say in the console I want to uh, log, sorry, console log XYZ. Save it and go back here. ID, D capital, I give D capital, so that is a problem. I should not give it capital ID, it is small ID. Save it. So now see. So this is how the document object model helps us to access the elements. Now if you see in our presentation, so we can also get elements by tag name, get elements by ID, that's what we have seen. Get elements by name if they have a name, or otherwise get elements by tag name or class name. Let us try it. Get elements by tag name. Let us say I have a tag h1, so variable variable tg is equal to document dot get element by tag name. And what is the tag I want? h1. And console. This is only to show you how document object model helps us to access the elements. Now HTML, it is h1 is there. So you can access them by element and we can use them. Now what we can also do is we can you can go through the PDF and we can see all the methods and properties of DOM. And let me show you one example before I close. So what I can do is I can insert the text into the paragraphs. Here if you see, the paragraphs are not given. So here what I can do is we can get them by, let us say I want to get them by class. So variable already I used my variable, right? My var1 is equal to document dot get element by class name. What is the class? 2. And my variable 1 dot text content. I want to insert the text there. I am not using HTML document now. I am using JavaScript. Using JavaScript, I am manipulating my HTML. So text content is equal to first paragraph. Now, see, similarly, there is another one, my variable 2, and the class name is 3, and this is second paragraph. So what I am doing, I am storing the tag element, I am accessing the element, and I am inserting the text. So missing in JavaScript 15. There is some here. Yeah. Hmm. So it is my variable 1, and this is my variable 2. Mm-hmm. Here also. Instead of that, let us select them by using another option, query selector. We can select it using the CSS class. Here we have CSS class 2 and class 3. So document dot query selector 2, it will be selected. This will be selected, and document dot query selector 3, it will be selected. Now that text content I am using as first paragraph in this para and second paragraph in this para. Now see the document here, the first paragraph, second paragraph. Now what I have done, I have inserted the text into the HTML using the document object model. In the same way, what you can do is you can insert the nodes. You can traverse from the first child, last child, parent node, next sibling, previous sibling. You can create an element, document, create an element in the same way. Then you can append a child. You can create an element and after you create an element, you can append the child. You can append the child. Then you can remove the child. You can remove the child. Then you can get the attribute of the element. You can also get the attribute. For example, here there is an attribute called external attribute. External attribute. External attribute that we can get using the attribute method, get attribute. Then you can also set attribute, as we have done with set text. We can text content, we can also set attribute here. And document forms, this we have already done in JavaScript. Inner HTML is the purpose of writing it is content inside the HTML elements. It comes handy when you work with Ajax request, that we'll see in the next classes. Now, before I close it, let me give you one more programming snippet here. What we can do is, so there is another method called query selector all. Now there is a class called main. In this there is class 2, there is class 3, and I can also define it as class 1. Class 1. So 1, 2, 3 classes are there in that main. So what I can do is I can select all of them, and I can use a for loop. This is my so ps is equal document dot query selector all main class flow p paragraphs. There are 3 paragraphs, and num is equal to ps dot length. Length will be 3. I is less than num, I plus plus. So for each, then I am using a text. I am appending a text. Text content plus that means text content is equal text content plus already whatever text content is there. With that, there is called looped. This text will appear. So this was earlier one. Now the looped has come. Now the looped has come. Now the looped has come. So dear students, what I would like to tell today is, using document object model, you can access, you can addify, you can add, you can modify, you can delete the elements, you can create elements, you can access elements. This is document object model. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any doubts, you can put it in the comment section. I will get back to you. Thank you very much.